this whole situation that we're facing is between states of consciousness. Consciousness that believes in freedom, that believes in love, and consciousness that is the inversion of that. Evil, what is evil? It's the absence of love. That's why these people do what they do. And so when people talk about this spiritual battle, I don't like the word battle, but you know, it'll do, because that's what we're looking at. It's two states of consciousness tussling for preeminence, for dominance of the perception, really. And in between are the population. And the population break down into basically three groups. There's the group that's just what I call press center people. They just do what they do and do what they're told without question. There's the second group that doesn't want to do that, but is terrified of not doing it. What are the consequences for me? And then there's the third group that says, I can see what's going on and I ain't cooperating. And so if people want to defend freedom, whether it's freedom of speech or freedom in general, and the whole basis of freedom is freedom to speak, then that group, I'm not sure about the first group, maybe some, but that second group that doesn't want to do what they're told to do, but is frightened of not doing so, that's got to get into the third group. That's got to come across and stop cooperating with your own enslavement. Because, you know, in the end, there are billions of people being manipulated, and in full knowledge of what they're doing, there's a handful of people doing it. So from that perspective alone, I see a way out of this. Look what it was like in terms of awareness of the population of what the hell's going on, where it's meant to go and who's behind it. Look at the knowledge of that and the awareness of the population in 1990. Look in even 2000. Look in 2010 and look now. The awakening is fantastic, and it's exponential, because the more that awaken, the more awakened people there are, because of the interaction and the communication of information and the awareness that comes from that. So I'm optimistic, and you know, you look at these people. This is the big thing, Alex. You know, we mustn't give these people power they don't have. We are going to win this. When we realize that we're not dealing with an all-powerful force, we're dealing with a force that has one gift, and that is the knowledge and the ability to hijack the perception of the target population. And key to that hijack is to persuade us, the billions, that they, the handful, have power. They do not have power. They have only the power that we give to it in the form of acquiescence. So when the power we give to them is recycled back against us, our perception is they have power. What we miss is the first part of the feedback loop, which is us giving them their power. Everything comes from perception, because all behavior comes from that. We are not dealing with an all-powerful force. We're dealing with a force that has hijacked and hoarded knowledge, not just about the agenda, but knowledge about reality and these things I was talking about earlier, that what the body is and the effect of these technological frequencies and the nature of the frequency state of the planet and how the vortices work and the ley lines work. All that is hoarded in the secret society network. Why is it a network of secret societies? To keep secrets. Who from? The population. So we've got two worlds. We've got the world of the cult, where they're handing through the generations, through the initiations, etc., of the secret societies, knowledge they don't want the public to have. And the public are set up to be ignorant of everything they know. So these people have created the education system. Look what they're doing to the kids, making them knowledgeable people. No, programming them to be robots, to be press enter people. They control the media, controlling information. What is the education system? Controlling information that the children and young people receive. So what they're doing among the population is suppressing knowledge, not least about reality, but also about the agenda that they are pursuing. So they want to keep the population blind from what they know. And it's very, very relevant and so symbolically perfect that one of the key symbols of this cult is the all-seeing eye, the single eye. And that's what it is. Compared with two-eyed, third-eyed humans, it's a single all-seeing eye. Actually, not all-seeing eye. It thinks it is. And so if you look at this phrase, in the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. They have not got the power over us. They have manipulated us to be in ignorance of their existence and what they know.
Everyone freaks out because they think either, he's going to do less content moderations. The left is freaking out because they want more content moderation. The right is celebrating because they think the people doing the content moderation are on the left. But there was one, I think it was a tweet, where he said like 3 things he was going to do to make it better, and was defeat the bots or something. But he said, authenticate all humans.
Yeah.
And this is a hugely important statement. And it's pretty powerful that this guy can put 3 words in a tweet, and actually I think this could change the world. Even if the bid fails, the fact that Elon said that he thinks we need to authenticate all humans is huge. Because now we're talking about solutions here. What can we do to make social media a better place for democracy, a place that actually makes democracy better? As Tristan Harris has pointed out, social media and digital technology, the Chinese are using it really skillfully to make a better authoritarian nation. And by better, I don't mean morally better, I mean like more stable, successful. Whereas we're using it to make ourselves weaker, more fragmented, and more insane. So we're on the way down, we're in big trouble. And all the argument is about content moderation. And what we learned from Frances Haugen is that, 5 or 10% of what they might call hate speech gets caught, 1% of violence and intimidation. Content moderation, even if we do a lot more of it, isn't going to make a big difference. All the powers and the dynamics changes to the architecture. And as I said in my Atlantic article, what are the reforms that would matter for social media? And the number one thing I believe is user authentication or user verification. And people freak out and they say but we need anonymous. Yeah, fine, you can be anonymous. But what I think needs to be done is anyone can open an account on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, as long as you're over 16, and that's another piece. Once you're 16 or 18, at a certain age, you can be treated like an adult. You can open an account and you can look, you can read, and you can make up whatever fake name you want. But if you want to post, if you want the viral amplification on a company that has Section 230 protection from lawsuits, which is a very special privilege, I understand the need for it, but it's an incredibly powerful privilege to protect them from lawsuits. If you want to be able to post on platforms that, as we'll get to in the Google Doc, there's a lot of evidence that they are undermining and damaging democracy, then the company has this minimal responsibility it has to meet. Banks have know your customer laws. You can't just walk up to a bank with a bag of money that you stole and say, here, deposit this for me. My name's John Smith. You have to actually show who you are. And the bank isn't going to announce who you are publicly, but you have to, if they're going to do business with you, they need to know you're a real person, not a criminal. And so there's a lot of schemes for how to do this. There's multiple levels. People don't seem to understand this. Level 0 of authentication is nothing. That's what we have now. Level 1, this might be what Elon meant. Authenticate all humans, meaning you have to at least pass a CAPTCHA or some test to show you're not a bot. There's no identity, there's nothing, just something that, it's a constant cat and mouse struggle between bots and, so we try to just filter out pure bots. The next level up, there are a variety of schemes that allow you to authenticate identity in ways that are not traceable or kept. So whether you show an ID, whether you use biometric, whether you have something on the blockchain that establishes identity, whether it's linked to a phone, whatever it is, there are multiple schemes now that companies have figured out for how to do this. And so if you did that, then in order to get an account where you have posting privileges on Facebook or Twitter or TikTok or whatever, you have to at least do that. And if you do that, now the other people are real humans too. And suddenly our public square is a lot nicer because you don't have bots swarming around. This would also cut down on trolls. You still have trolls who use their real name, but this would just make it a little scarier for trolls. Some men, they can be very polite in real life, but some men, as soon as they have the anonymity, they start using racial slurs. They're horrible. One troll can ruin thousands of people's day.